Trying to get at tonight, Justin.
I thought you'd like to know I had a not guilty verdict today on your retaliatory charges that failed.
All right, folks, let me first start this video by saying that I absolutely appreciate and respect First Amendment auditing videos. This is a phenomenon that has grown from sea to shining sea and everywhere in between, across the pond with our friends in the UK, in Australia, in Canada, and other places as well. And the reason this phenomenon keeps growing is because people believe in freedom. People want it. It's a fast-growing community, so let me just say that all of you guys out there that are holding your public officials accountable, thank you. So without further ado, check out this video by 68 Shots. He was illegally arrested not too long ago for recording his public officials and asking questions, and you're gonna see that he's back doing the same thing because he was correct. You're also gonna see that he asks a new police officer if he knows the First Amendment, one of the most important questions ever asked on an audit, and you're gonna see why. Police officers don't know, folks. Here's your video from 68 Shots.
Police, you guys, they don't actually uphold the law. We know that. I got that video too. Do you guys know that?
We got a new officer here tonight. Hello, sir. I was wondering. I haven't got to talk to him yet. I just wanted to tell me if you could tell me the First Amendment of the Constitution. That's no? You can't tell me any part of the First Amendment of the Constitution? All right, I'll help you out with it. First Amendment. It's basically known as the Freedom of Speech Amendment, but it's your freedom of speech, your freedom of press, your freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, freedom of association, and freedom to redress your government. You should know that. You should know all of our constitutional amendments. Your badge is you taking an oath to uphold our constitutional rights. How can you uphold them if you don't know them? Do you know what the Second Amendment is? The Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms, sir. You need to learn the rest of these. I'm not going to sit here and go through this all night, and I'm not. This isn't meant to put you on the spot, but this is stuff you should know. Most people are passing around some crazy misinformation that police have no obligation to the Constitution. That's your first oath. That's your highest obligation is to the Constitution. That's the highest law, sir. Did you know that? Did you know that is the highest law, sir? No more answers? All right, I won't stand here and just, stare at your face not saying anything. Have a good night, Officer Lavelle. I hope you've learned.
In my opinion, 68 Shots was not being disrespectful in any way. He was asking some simple questions, relative questions as a matter of fact, and the police officer just stood there with his face dumbfounded, like a deer in the headlights, not knowing what to say. Amazing work by 68 Shots. If you like that first clip, get ready for this next one because you're absolutely going to appreciate this one. Here we go, folks.
It's pretty quiet out there. Yeah. Okay. I know it seems like, they're heading north. Gotta get that light. Gotta get that green light. Thanks, guys. No problem.
How's it going, man?
All right. All right.
Pretty good. I wanted to show you something tonight. I noticed you tell everybody and act like my disability is bullshit, especially when you drug me out of here and made the big scene.
I've never said that.
Can you see that leg?
I've never said that.
Do you want to see the bones and the steel?
that's
Or is that enough for you? Did I prove my disability for you?
I don't know what you're trying to get at, Justin.
Well, guess what, bro? That leg is missing the components to lift the foot.
I've never doubted you of it.
Really?
So, yep.
I remember getting thrown on the ground and put on a stretcher like I was making a scene because I asked for a wheelchair or some ambulatory
What are you
aids.
trying to get at tonight, Justin?
I thought you'd like to know I had a not guilty verdict today on your retaliatory charges that failed.
I don't know what you're talking about, retaliatory.
You know when you came out because my neighbor attacked me with a running weed whacker and cut me up, and you charged me with assault and battery? Remember that?
Well, I was out there when they were deciding.
Don't forget to do your park surveys, gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Justin. You have a good night.
All done talking? Can you tell me the First Amendment of the Constitution, since you've taken an oath to it? Back? That's what I get? Can you tell me the Second Amendment? Can you tell me any part of the Constitution? No, he's not got no obligation to a citizen, right?
I'm not gonna
What?
entertain your frustration.
This isn't frustration, sir. This is redress of my government. It's part of the First Amendment that you don't know. If you knew the First Amendment, you'd know that I have that constitutional right. See, that's the problem with not knowing my constitutional rights. How can you uphold and defend the Constitution if you don't know it? How can you defend my constitutional rights if you don't know them, sir? I'm going to help you like I helped the other officer.
Would you read a book or would you prefer to listen to a book? I'm going to get you all a book.
When I started my channel, I began to see patterns out there, folks. I began to ask questions and try to open up dialogue with police officers. I didn't want to walk up to cop and just start dropping F-bombs on him. I didn't want to look like a jerk off in every video, so I decided to open up dialogue and ask questions. One of the questions that I kept asking over and over again was if police officers knew the First Amendment of the Constitution. Totally mind-blowing, folks, but a very high percentage of cops, they don't know it. You know what that means? That means they swore an oath to nothing. They raise their right hand and they repeat something that somebody else was reading to them. That is a huge embarrassment, in my opinion. Police officers ought to be ashamed of themselves. And when you ask them that question, they absolutely can answer you because it's not an opinion. It is a part of their job. It is a part of their duties that they swore to. And because police officers weren't trained properly, we're going to go ahead and train them right here on this video right now. The First Amendment of the Constitution, folks. You have a freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, and freedom to petition your government for a redress of grievances. There's 5 elements to it. Why is that so important? Those elements of the First Amendment mirror your natural born rights. And this document, the Constitution, was not written to give you your rights. You were born with those rights. These amendments were written to limit the scope of authority that public officials have over you, the people. So it's really important that you learn it too, whether you're a police officer or just one of the people like I am. And before I let you go, subscribe to 68 Shots. I want to say that the First Amendment auditing community is an amazing community. And just like cops, there's good and bad out there, right? Not all police officers are bad. In my heart, I truly believe that. Even though we get a lot of comments that's saying there's no good cops because when bad cops do something, they turn the other cheek. And I don't disagree with that. But I do want to say that I don't believe that we need to have the same mentality as a people. If there are auditors out there that are doing stupid stuff, call it out, folks. Recently, I said in one of my narrations that I really didn't like the fact that people are starting to open police car doors, jumping on the bumpers and on the hood of the vehicles. I don't think that's smart. I think that's going to lead the people down a wrong path. And those are the same people that will turn around and tell you that they hate auditors, that they are not First Amendment auditors, and that's fine. But pay attention to what's happening out there, folks. I truly believe that this is an amazing community and it keeps growing. And that term itself, First Amendment audits, brought a lot of people together. It doesn't matter what political spectrum you're on. It doesn't matter what color or race you are, man or woman. And it's also important to teach the youth before they start getting out there in the streets. It's important that they know their rights. It's our job as parents to teach them. Thank you all for tuning in. Go subscribe to 68 Shots. I really appreciate this man's work. I'll drop the links in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys over there. Have a blessed day. Peace.